What's going on, everybody? Kevin from Kevin's Aquariums. Today I'm going to do a video on my FX6 canister filter, showing you how I clean it, what I put back in it, what I change out, how I rinse it out, and everything. So for starters, I just plug the sink and let it drain. While it's draining, I take off the top cover. It has been probably about a month and a half since I cleaned this filter. And now that I have the hospital or the quarantine tank shut down, I do have two filters running on my 125 gallon now. So hopefully with two filters on there, I might be able to go a little bit longer without cleaning them. And what I do is I also have another bucket here on the side that that I use when I take stuff out of the FX6. So for starters, this is my filter floss that I'm pulling out. That is pretty bad. Normally they don't look that bad. And then I just, all the sponges and everything in there, I just give them a quick rinse in the tank water that came out of the FX6. On these top ones, you'll see that there are some bloodworms left on there. I did feed the tank a bunch of bloodworms this morning. Kind of shows me that maybe next time I should turn the filters off for a little while I'm feeding. Try and get you a better camera angle of everything that's in these. All right, so top tray is just the two sponges around the outside, the sponge in the center, and then polyfill. I do want to switch out the substrate in this tank just because it is like a really fine sand and it does tend to sit on the baskets. So I always take everything out of the baskets and give them a rinse as well. The last time I cleaned it, I did wait a little bit longer than normal to clean it. And the side sponges on the sides here were actually starting to build up a lot of sand in those. So there was actually parts of them that were starting to get a little hard. So I realized that I need to start cleaning these out more frequently. Like right here, you can kind of see like that one, that spot right there is starting to get hard. Same with the edge of it right here. So just make sure I wring those spots out really good in the tank water. And then set these off to the side, all the ones that I'm taking out of here. That way I can rinse the basket out before I put it all back together. And you can, in the bucket, or in the basket here, you can see all the way around it's getting a lot of sand in there. So in this second basket here, you got the rings around the outside, another black foam pad in the bottom, And then I've got just an extra little sponge filter in there. That's all I run in the second basket. I could probably move this to the second basket. This is just a small bag of biological media. See if I can open it up and give you a view here of what it is. I don't know how much good it really does. I mean, it's got some surface area, but it's mainly just like little small rock. I mean, it's a little porous, but not terribly porous. I think I'm going to move that to the second basket. I'll get down into the bottom. This one, again, sponges on the sides are starting to get hard with all the sand that was getting trapped in there. Again, another reason why I want to rescape the 125 gallon. Get rid of all the rocks in there, and probably move them to the African tank, and then I want to probably switch that over to driftwood and do like either a more coarse grained sand, or possibly even switch it back to gravel. And then also in the bottom of this one, I've just got the bio rings that came with the FX6. I will probably do a video on the rescape of the 125 once it finally does happen. Now this tank is used mainly for fish stuff. Actually, I've never used it for anything else since we moved in, so I'm not too worried about cross-contamination. The only thing is that, you know, on city water it does have some chlorine in there, but all the water that was in there was tank water, so putting it all back together here. See if I can get you a better angle. Sorry, you got the cabinets in the way there, but all right. So bottom basket is biomedia or the bio rings and the sponges around the outside. Second basket is that baggie full of biomedia, and then the one little sponge filter. Top basket is black foam pad, sponges around the outside, and new filter floss. And again, I just use regular polyfill. And then normally I do give the FX6 a rinse as well. Try and do this without knocking you over. Now I am one of the people that doesn't fill their FX6 back up with tap water before I put it back on the tank. Normally what I do is reattach it to the tank and then open it up and let it prime itself. That way it's never gets chlorinated water in it, it's always tank water. I don't want to take the risk of possibly killing any beneficial bacteria that's in here. I have had this FX6 running on this tank now for, say, probably 2.5 years, I'm guessing. The only thing I replaced was the impeller here once and some of the foam pads on the inside. And I believe the issue that I was having actually had nothing to do with the impeller. It was probably the foam pads. I was having an issue with decreased flow, and I thought it was an impeller issue. Turns out one of the foam pads on the inside had kind of collapsed on itself and started restricting the amount of water going through. So now when you're doing it the way I do it, just make sure that you open up the input first. So you got input and output. Once you start hearing the water start to trickle in, go ahead and start cracking open the output. And you'll start getting all the air coming through the output. Probably start hearing the tank gurgle here in a second. And now it doesn't want to work. So all I did there, since it wasn't priming itself, I plugged the cord in. Sorry, my dog got in the way there. But I plugged the cord in to the outlet, left it for just a couple of seconds, and then unplugged it. Did that 2 or 3 times, and then it started priming itself. Not the ideal way to do it, but again, I don't want to fill this with tap water and run the risk of killing any beneficial bacteria. As you can see, it is priming itself. The hoses do cloud the water a little bit, but I don't regularly clean the hoses. I am thinking about switching them over to a clear and smooth nylon hose, or not nylon, like the Python hose, just a little bit bigger. And now that it is done bubbling, we can plug it in and so yeah, that is what I do to clean my FX6, and again showed you guys kind of what I run in my FX6, what's all in there and how it's all set up. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great rest of your day.